everyone, happy Wednesday. I thought it was about time that I do a bigger intro video about my ducks so you can meet them all and get to know them. So we'll start with, can I give you a kiss? Nope, he doesn't want a kiss. Okay, sorry. So today we'll start with Wanda and then possibly Carolyn. Hang on. The dogs are playing in case you hear the growling. So anyway, so I was reading that people seem to like longer videos better on YouTube, and I tend to keep them short because I feel like I like shorter videos better. So we'll try a couple longer videos, and you guys just let me know in the comments if you prefer the like 10 to 15 minutes or like 3 to 5 with the occasional 10-minute. There's something else I was going to talk about before I started this. If you guys want, because I get a lot of questions in the comments, and I love answering the questions in the comments, so I will continue to do so no matter what, but if you guys want, I can every so often compile a Q&A video with the comment questions and answer them as a whole on the video too, so that everybody can hear the answers if they don't tend to scroll through the comments. So that was another thing, so let me know if you're interested in that. And then as far as selling hatching eggs goes, because I've gotten a couple questions about that, I might look into it this spring, hopefully. I will hopefully have enough eggs to hatch my own and sell a few hatching eggs. In which case, all the eggs will be posted with their parents on my website, which is usually posted in the About section. Depends on how tired I am that day if I decide to post my website instead there. So that takes up all of our housekeeping, and we are going to go to meet Wanda. So this picture is Wanda when she was just a little baby. I met Wanda first when, she had just hatched. She'd only been hatched for a couple days. And I met her, and in the group of ducklings that she was in as a baby, she was the only one that I could like tell apart. So I held her a lot, and she got used to being held. You can see how social she is. She used to sit on my lap, eat out of my hand, she's very spoiled, and would like sit there and look at me like, I'm sorry, I am expecting that you will bring me my food and water so I don't have to move. Wanda was always the most, I think, adventurous of the group and the least needy of the other ducks. So a lot of the other ducks would not go anywhere without each other, but Wanda would go off and explore, the whole world without any other ducks going with them. If you've seen my video, which I'll link in the back at the end of it, about how he got his name. He is in fact a boy, but you'll hear me switch off between calling him a boy versus a girl. But he is a boy. I just thought he was a girl when we first got him. But Wanda was always the most adventurous. Honestly, I think having him more socialized when I got him made the others get used to me easier. So that was really helpful. I have my dogs with me while I'm recording this voiceover, so you might hear them. Wanda is, even though Wanda was more independent, I don't know, the others really bullied him a lot. I don't really know why. Maybe because he was more independent. Maybe they somehow knew he was a Drake. I don't know. I don't know what the story is there, but they bullied him a lot, and you can see his wing feathers in this video coming in, those blue things on him. Those are the wings growing in for the first time. And they picked on him a lot. Yeah, they did. They did pick on him a lot. I didn't really know what to do with it, to be honest. So at some point I started separating him from I separated him and Helena from the others because I honestly just didn't know. And you can see this is when they were on their own, in their own little section. But, and this video right now that we're watching was the first time that I started wondering, Not the first, but one of the many times I started wondering if Wanda was a boy, because he started hissing at me. Girls don't hiss as much as boys do. Yeah, so they were separated for about a month with the two of them, and I really got to socialize with Wanda and Helena a lot. Their socialization will come and go depending on how much time I'm spending with them. But yeah, they would come and hang out with me. So Wanda was and is one of my favorite ducks, and is very sweet and social. Really just all around great ducks. Wanda his coloring is what is known as a chocolate pied. So pied means usually white, but I've heard that it can be any color from the mane. So they would have two colors, primarily white. And so you can see Wanda has white on the feathers and has kind of on some of the later videos, he has kind of a checkered look to his wings now that they've all come in. So I don't know who I'm going to breed him with yet, except he will be bred with Brunhilde, who's a lilac. Because a chocolate drake with a lilac girl should give 50-50 chocolate ducklings and lilac ducklings. He also is the only one that I have with a bib. He doesn't solely have a bib, but you can see the white patch on his chest. He also doesn't mind, and in this video you can see the checkered kind of look on his wings. Yeah, Wanda's probably my most social and my most adventurous. I love his temperament, and so I'm excited to hatch more eggs. As he's gotten older, he's gotten a lot more white on his head, which you can see in this video he's eating, and he's got the white there. So I'm excited to hatch his eggs and see what kind of temperament his little ones give us. He also has less caruncles so far than Bucky, but to be honest, Wanda's still young. So he was hatched around July 1st. So we're looking at about 5 months for him. He'll be considered full grown at about 6 to 7 months, which is about how old Bucky is. So he could still get some more caruncles coming in. And the caruncles are the red bits on his skin, or on his face. So he's a fairly hardy duck. He's not a super dominant duck. He kind of stays out of Bucky's way. He does chase around the girls sometimes, but not nearly as much. So we'll see. So Wanda's eggs will be hopefully available this spring, as well as some Wanda babies. So as you get to know Wanda, if you are interested in having offspring of Wanda, the ones, once they separate from their parents, will be posted online for sale. The ones that I decide not to keep, as well as some hatching eggs. So yeah, that's the story of my favorite boy. Yeah, in that video he's chasing some people around. I didn't quite catch it, but you can see him at the top chasing. I don't remember who it was around. So that was the first duck I ever picked out. I knew right away after I'd snuggled him all weekend when I met him the first time that he was going to come home with me, and I loved him. He was fresh. So he's chocolate pied. He did have lacing, a lot of nice lacing on his chest, which is where the tips of feathers have a slightly different color, and it looks like, well, lace. But that's grown out. I don't know what his genetics are, so I don't know if he has any other interesting, like, barring or rippling or anything in his genetics. But that'll kind of be answered a little bit when we see what his kids look out. So that would be Wanda. Next, I will introduce you to Carol. So Carol was actually the last of the original 7 that I picked. When Wanda was old enough to move in, and they moved some of the other chicks in together, they added Carol because she was about the same age, maybe a week older than Wanda. So she went in with them. And so there were only 2 Muscovies in that crew, and the rest were the Ancanas. And I wasn't going to take her because we already had a chocolate Muscovy. But, as time went on, I just kind of felt sad that, Carol and Wanda were the only two Muscovies that were, like, raised together, quote unquote, ish. I felt sad for her. So I said we would take her too. And so that's how we ended up with Carol in the group. Funny enough, for having spent the most time together, Wanda and Carol did not get along. Early on, Carol was kind of the mean girl in the group, often bullying the others. She became very close right away with Bucky. Excuse me. And has been good friends with Bucky through most of everything, although, Bucky's a bit of a player and doesn't care as much for her. But yeah, Carol, we talked about getting rid of Carol a few times because she was frequently plucking the other bird's feathers. We had to separate her out for a while, for a couple days, and I tried to give her more protein because plucking can be a result of a lack of protein, but that didn't seem to help. Even now, she's not exactly nice, but there was a bit of turn of events when we added Sylvie, Hope, and Dinah to the crew. They were being kind of mean to Helena because Helena has the wry neck. And I was very pleased to see that Carol was not standing for that at all. And so anytime someone would get close to Helena and try and be mean to her, Carol would step in and drive them away. And so since then, Carol is really chilled out, and she's really a sweet duck now. But she started out as very, very much a diva. Very headstrong, very rude. She was just mean, honestly. I joked that she was a cannibal because she would regularly pluck and eat the other duck's feathers. Yeah, she looks a lot like Hope, and in fact, in that clip that just passed, it can be hard to tell which is which. But, sorry, that's Stormy. I somehow got a clip that didn't quite have as much Carol in there as I'd hoped. But anyway, yeah, she and Hope look a lot alike. I wouldn't be surprised if they're sisters, to be honest, and from the same parents, or at least from the same mother. But yeah, so Carol her coloring is a chocolate pie like Wanda, so it's the chocolate and it has the white, and she has the white, but her coloring is more known as magpie, so she's got that blanket on the back of brown, and then she's got the white underneath. Other than that, yeah, so that's how we got Carol. She's known for being headstrong. When we hatch in the summertime, I don't know who she'll be paired with just yet. I might pair her with Bucky. She's right there down in the front of the video. But in the summertime when we hatch, if you are looking for a headstrong duck that, likes to be in charge and stuff like that, she might be the mom you want. If you like the pied coloring and the magpie coloring with the white bottom. She does have spots on her chest, which does differentiate her from Hope. Yeah, she's the one. The headstrong, but otherwise, she's the most protective, I would say, out of all of them. For a while, Helena and Wanda were pretty close, but over the time that I've had them, I would say that Carol consistently has been the most protective of the other ducks. So, funny story about Carol. She was missing. I saw all 12 ducks and I couldn't find Carol, and I was getting worried. So I was walking around with the dogs and I was like, guys, go find Carol. I'm missing my duck. Go find my duck. And I don't know if the dogs understood me, but they could tell that I really wanted something, and they were wandering around looking like, I don't know what you want, Mom. And as I was wandering around looking for Carol, all of a sudden she comes flying at my face, and who's behind her? Honor. I'm fairly certain that she was actually in the duck coop. I don't know why she was in there by herself, but I guess Honor went in there and pulled her out. I don't know if that was just a coincidence and Honor was just being naughty. That is Hope on the camera right now. There's Sylvie. But off she went. So we found her, and then the next She spent most of that day alone. I don't know if she wasn't feeling well, but I kept an eye on her that day because she spent most of that day alone in the coop. So I don't know what was going on there, but yeah, that is Carol. So, we'll wrap this video up. All right, well, there's our introduction to Wanda and Carol. I will link my website down here. I do have a little blurb about each bird on my website, although it is old, so I do need to update my website too, and I don't have the new ones on. But anyway, you can check out my website if you're interested. And yeah, we'll be back for Storytime Thursdays tomorrow and Friday. I don't know. So yeah, let me know what you think of this video in the comments, and let me know if you like this length better than the 3 to 5 that I usually try to keep it at. And let me know what you think of Wanda and Carol. Thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and have a great Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Bye, guys.